So this is the scoop that you guys have seen me putting up there as of now, so far. Now, this one actually belongs on my wife's Model A car. She's got a little bit of stuff there to do before she can actually get it sitting up there, so I've just been throwing it up here just to kind of get a little bit of inspiration and see what it looks like, and honestly, it doesn't look that good on here. It really doesn't belong on the truck. So, in today's video, I got to figure out what it is that I'm putting on there. And we'll start off with one that I've already got, and we'll see how that looks. So I've been kind of going back and forth on what I was going to do for an air cleaner and a scoop on this thing since day one. And I really hadn't decided much up until just here recently. Now, one of the options that I was thinking about is, just buying one of the store-bought ones that are aluminum with some like fins on there and a little scoop-looking thing in the front. That was kind of the best option I'd come up with that was something that you could just buy over the counter. So I thought, well, I was tossing that around and I couldn't do it. I've already massaged and reworked almost this whole entire truck at this point. I don't think, the only thing that I haven't really touched is, I guess, the doors. I guess I need to cut something off the doors and weld something back on the doors. I don't know, just so I can say that I've touched every part of the truck. But anyways, back to the scoop. I didn't really want to just buy something to stick on here after thinking about it, because that'd been kind of lame. Then I was thinking about, well, what can I get that's kind of a vintage deal? And one of my favorite scoops on a vintage scoop is one of the old Cadillac style ones. I dig the style of these things and I think they're really neat, but there again, it kind of goes back to the whole just bolting something on the truck when I've reworked the whole entire rest of the truck. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't actually reworked the tailgate yet. So doors and tailgate. Oh wait, I welded the tailgate to the back, so maybe that counts. I don't know. Anyways, back to the scoop. This one, like I said, looks cool. It's vintage, it's awesome, and all that kind of stuff. But it is back to just bolting something onto the motor, or bolting something onto the top. And it's kind of the big showpiece right here in the center of the hood. Everybody's going to see it right off the bat. So, kind of decided I would just maybe use this as inspiration. Make something that's kind of similar to this, but has a little bit more style to it. Maybe a little bit more flow. One of the parts I don't like about these is the fact that the back of it's flat. I guess they did that probably to clear something that was back there. I don't know what was back there originally. I can't remember. But anyways, long story short, I don't like the flat back on there. I think it'd be a little bit cooler if it had just maybe a little bit of a point coming up here on it or something. So I think I'm just going to actually start building one. And we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so to save a little bit of time right off the bat here, we are going to use this old air cleaner. It's just a regular old air cleaner off of any old carbureted small block Chevy. It's got the little keyed spot in there, so that'll actually lock onto the carburetor and won't allow this thing to spin, rotate around. No sense in reinventing the wheel here. I'm just going to whack this thing up and use the base of it to get started. Well, we officially got an air cleaner. Now we just got to make it look cool. so I got my general shape kind of already all done here. I've got a little bit of finish work left to do around the edges, but I think I'm going to try to sit this thing up there and see what it's going to look like. Also, today, my new lights I ordered showed up. Got those stuck on there real quick. I'm kind of digging them. I think they're going to look pretty good on there. And we'll see what they look like with this on there too. Now, I made this hole in the top of this for a reason, and that is because I got this old 40s hubcap that I think is going to look pretty sweet up here on top of this thing. Something like that. Of course, it'll sit down in there and it'll all get welded flush. But I think that's going to look pretty slick. And now I think we just need to start working on these little scoops that come over here on the sides. Well guys, that's kind of officially what Old Crow is going to look like right there. Now I've got a few other little odds and ends things to do, like clipping off the ends of the headers and some little stuff here and there, but our overall look, this is it. I'm so excited to be at this point on this thing and to actually have it come together and looking as good as it does. It's basically pretty close to where I had in my mind to begin with. A few little odds and ends changes here and there, but real close to what I had intended in the first place. Now I've got one more probably video left of some hacking and whacking and welding and stuff like that before we actually can tear this thing down and start to paint it up and do final assembly. So in our next video, I'm going to finish up a few things like being able to actually clear the carburetor and stuff with the hood. I have to do that. I have to figure out what exactly we're putting in our plates on our headers. I've got a couple of ideas there that have popped up. I'm still accepting some ideas if you guys got anything. So post that down below. I've got to make a couple more little pieces down here in the grill to be able to finish off that grill. And I've got to do some bracing and stuff here on the hood and some under bracing underneath here. So I think that's pretty close to being it, really. Oh, I've got one arm little thing here to weld on and figure out so I can make my link bar from the steering box over to the spindle. I think that's it, pretty much. So hopefully next video we'll finish up all that stuff and we'll be at the point where we're ready to actually tear this thing down and start doing final assembly on it. But I think for today, that's all I got. So I'll see you guys next time.